Hello everybody. I'm just going to do a quick video today because we're setting up our Mr. Dark and we notice he's not jumping as high or as fast as he used to, and I figured this is probably a pretty common problem for anybody who's had Mr. Dark for more than 2 seasons like we have. So here's what he does currently. So you can see there he's not jumping very high or very fast. So let's take a look at why that's happening. So luckily the mechanical box is still working. This isn't an issue with the mechanical, it is an issue with the springs, and I'll show you why. We're going to just go ahead and unhook these real quick. And there you go, and you can see the springs themselves are stretched out. You see the entire spring should look all compressed in together like that, and up at the top it's just stretched out. And again, that's just from sitting out for 2 or actually 3 full seasons out in the yard. Probably just stretches those springs and probably is a warning to anybody who has a Mr. Dark. When you're not using it, detach these springs or it will stretch it out like that. So again, easy fix, and let's see how I did it. I'll show you what I got. I just went to Lowe's and I found these springs. They were only, I believe, $5.98 each, and these are basically the exact same kind of springs that Mr. Dark has, except these are fully compressed and not stretched out. So we're going to put these on and see how that makes him work better, hopefully. So you can see the tops of these springs are covered by this cloth to keep it protected, but it's also on there by a zip tie. So I got to take this zip tie off. I'm going to use this box cutter. Obviously be careful with any sharp objects. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And voila, through the magic of video editing, I cut that off. Here it is. Cut that off. I do have other zip ties. I'm just going to put that on. I'm going to take this off here, and looks like this spring is held on by a screw. So now we just got to take this screw off and replace these strings. I'm going to do that right now. Alright, as you can see, we have 3 bolts that need to come off. 1, 2, 3. Got this first one off, and then I'm going to start working on these other 2. Okay, got those sides off. Just going to slide that out of there, and you can see this spring actually will come right off of there. Now all I gotta do is put the new springs on. Let me get started on that. So I got this screws on and this other spring on. Now I want to point out one thing that's different between the springs I got and the springs that were on the original Mr. Dark are this big leading loop on the top. You can see this one doesn't really have that, so what I did is I put a little extra nut in there with an extra washer, so that when this goes all the way over, you can see it's not going to actually hit that bar in the middle, and it's not going to cause any unnecessary friction. And I think that lead bar is what was helping that before. See? So I just had to improvise a little bit, put a little extra tool work in there, and I'm going to do this other side. And so here we are. I put extra screws in here, extra screws in there to give it a little gap. Got a washer in there. It's going to help keep the springs separated from the bar. And it looks like we're going to be good to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach these down to here and get a bit of run, and hopefully it works out. Alright, there we are, fully connected. And one thing I did not account for between the difference between the springs that I got and the original springs is that these new springs are actually a lot tighter and not as loose, so they were not quite able to stretch all the way down, so I had to improvise. Took a little leftover chain link I had, did that. Now I would not really recommend anybody do that, but let's take a look at the results between the 2. So there you go, you can see the difference between the 2. The new springs make him jump higher and faster than he did on those old broken springs. Now again, my recommendation for anybody having a similar problem would be with all the reskins of Mr. Dark. You got Towering Tallulah this year, you have the whatever the devil guy's name was last year, I forgot. But Dr. Zombie is a great resource. Nobody utilizes that. If you got a Spirit Halloween prop and something like that happens, just contact Dr. Zombie online and let them know your springs are stretched out, and they'll send you new ones. I just like working on things with my hands and getting dirty a little bit, so that's why I did it that way. But anyway, there we go. Our Mr. Dark is back to form. Let's check him out one more time.